Welcome back to the Temple of Speed. After a chaotic and dramatic opening race, the grid is reset, tension is sky high, and the drivers are ready to race. It's lights out and race 2 is underway. And it's not a good start from Griffin. Ibanez takes the lead. Griffin at his gearbox as we're heading into turn 1. Late dive from Griffin, and they're side by side in the first chicane. Better line for Ibanez, and he keeps the lead. Surprisingly, we have a clean start once again, just like in race 1, showing that these drivers are operating at the highest level. Heading into Roggia, Griffin is tucked deep in the slipstream. Pulling out now, and he's going to try to attack once again. Griffin on the outside into Roggia. Ibanez hard over the curb. It's wheel to wheel, and Griffin retakes the lead. Perfectly done. And Cream takes advantage of that bad exit from Ibanez. He jumps up into second place as they head down into Lesmo. Ibanez is under big pressure now, as he's down 2 places in just 2 corners. Kajaya tries to pass as well, but Ibanez shuts the door hard. This infighting gives Griffin and Cream the perfect opportunity to break away and create a gap. They are pulling clear as they go flat out down the Seraglio straight, flying under the old oval now and screaming towards Variante Ascari. A massive slide for Griffin. He's gone off the track, cutting the grass on the inside of the circuit. But look at the car control. Thankfully, he keeps it stable. Cream is side by side with Griffin, just slightly ahead of him down the main straight. Griffin is braver on the brakes, and Cream attacks. Griffin reacts, but now cuts the chicane. It seems like he got scared by Cream and just wanted to avoid the contact. Cream with much more momentum now, and he's closing the gap fast as they go through Curva Grande. They are side by side once again, and it's going to be a fight on the brakes into Roggia. 200, 210, 220 on the clock, and braking now. And once again, Griffin is braver on the brakes, aggressive over both curbs, but he keeps the lead. What a spectacular defense. The pack is caught up to Griffin and Cream. We're pushing flat out towards turn 1 once again. Cream dives deep down the inside and overtakes Griffin in the chicane. What a spectacular move from Cream. Griffin and Ibanez are relatively close. Griffin will probably want to attack into Roggia once again, but he'll have to keep an eye on his rear view mirror as Ibanez might attack him as well. Further back, Kajaya and Hennessy are side by side for 4th place. Oh, Griffin attacks! From right to left, and he retakes the lead with the inside line in Roggia. What a brilliant response! Just like on the first lap, Griffin's attack benefits the driver in 3rd place to overtake the leader from a moment ago. Ibanez went from P1 to 3rd place in Roggia on lap 1, with Cream gaining the place. And now the roles swap as Cream drops to P3 from the lead. Another lap and another fight for the lead down the main straight. Closing to the braking zone, Griffin takes the inside, defending line. Ibanez closes the gap on the braking. They go side by side, and Ibanez forces his way through onto the lead. Talk about elbows out! He forced his way into a gap that was barely there, leaving Griffin with no choice but to give him space. The pack pushes flat out towards the 2nd chicane. Will we see a copy and paste overtake from Griffin? Or maybe Ibanez did his homework and will not let Griffin through. Darkline Racing Team is closing and now attacks down the inside. They're side by side, but Ibanez keeps the lead. Lesson learned. Well done. Griffin tries into Lesmo now, but no space for him. Small drift on the exit curb now, but he keeps the car facing right direction. Now he tries into second Lesmo, but once again, no space for him. And this opens the door for Cream, who has a better exit and will have a big speed advantage at the end of that straight. Under the oval now, Cream goes to the inside. Almost side by side, Cream over the bumpy curb, and he almost flips over. How did he catch that? He almost flipped onto the roof, somehow landed on all four wheels, and avoided crashing into Hennessy. What did we just see? Unbelievable! That must have been a scary moment for both Cream and Hennessy. No matter the position drivers are fighting for, turn 1 is a perfect opportunity to attack, and we're going to see that once again. Schrei is chasing Hunker, takes the inside line, but he's too far to get the move done. A really bad line for Schrei fighting side by side, and instead of gaining a place, he's now at high risk of losing one as the driver behind him is already right beside him and Hunker pulls away. Inside line now for Schrei, but it doesn't mean he's safe. He sees his rival in his mirrors, but he doesn't close the door. Side by side into Rogia now, and once again we have a car almost flipping over. Just under 7 minutes on the clock, and Griffin chases down Ibanez down the main straight once again. Much later, on the brakes and an attack on the inside. Huge slide for Griffin, almost hits his rival, and now over the curbs. Ibanez retakes the lead after losing it for a few seconds. Griffin doesn't give up and now follows Ibanez towards turn 4, almost brushing his front bumper against Ibanez's rear one. To the outside now, he's definitely going to attack. It's a side-by-side sprint to the chicane. Griffin now just a few milliseconds later on the brakes, and once again he overtakes the way he mastered. Ibanez seems to have forgotten the lesson he learned just a while ago. Here's the replay with another angle of that first chicane incident. Griffin goes for the move, clips the curb, which snaps the rear out and causes that slight brush between them. Just 50 seconds on the clock. Griffin is in the lead. Is there enough time for another lap? We're about to find out. Griffin loses the rear at the exit of Ascari, just like in race 1. He keeps the car stable this time, but it must have been a scary moment for him. He lost a potential win a few hours ago exactly the same way. And now Ibanez takes the lead with 25 seconds left on the clock. And it's gonna be a matter of a few seconds if they start one more lap. What drama for Darkline Racing Team! Onto the main straight, and thankfully, there's enough time for one more lap. 7 seconds gives Griffin one more lap to fight for the lead. And he doesn't waste a single second. Attacks at the first opportunity, which is the first chicane. Hennessy and Cream fighting for third right behind them. Griffin cannot make the corner, and he cuts it one more time. Ibanez is still in the lead. Cream still fighting for third place. Both fights head into Rogia. Side by side for the victory now. I've lost count of how many times they've fought into Rogia. Hennessy has cleared Cream in the background. His third place seems safe. And now Griffin takes the lead with the exact same maneuver, just like many times earlier this race. Ibanez seems to completely ignore the fact that he's been overtaken that way so many times. The Darkline Racing Team driver is back in the lead, but the pressure is still sky high as he's got 3 cars right behind him. He's only got Ascari and Parabolica ahead of him, but it doesn't mean it's an easy job. Down the Seraglio straight now. Under the oval for the final time. Griffin takes a defensive line into Ascari, carefully over the curbs, not wanting to risk anything unnecessarily. This season has been a pure sinusoid for Alex Griffin, full of wins and losses. After a tough weekend at the Nürburgring, he arrived at Monza and immediately showed great pace, taking pole position. He was cruising towards victory in race 1, but then he lost the car in Ascari, damaging it and forcing a retirement. With just a few hours until race 2, the Darkline Racing Team faced a monumental challenge to get the car fixed. But they did it. And now, after 20 minutes of non-stop fighting for the lead, Alex Griffin charges onto the main straight at Monza, and he wins race 2 by just 125 thousandths of a second. Alex Griffin is victorious on Italian soil. Ibanez takes second place and Hennessy completes the podium. Jacob Ruud finishes 8th and Alex Griffin increases his championship lead up to 30 points.